Hello, this is Allison with Traveling Light, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about psychedelics. So a lot of people ask me, is the Lucia Light a psychedelic experience? And, first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about what that means. So psychedelic experience means that you're taking an entheogen, so taking something outside of yourself that is going to alter your brain chemistry and change your perceptual reality, expand your consciousness, so to say. Now, psychedelics can be very powerful, especially in the right container, where someone is really holding space for you and you feel safe going into deep things. Because what it can do is really rewrite traumas and memories and all kinds of experiences that way. Now, obviously, it also has other potentials, and the reason people have a so-called bad trip is because they can have things come up for them or circumstances happen around them while they're in this altered state that don't feel safe. And then that's imprinted in the brain. So we do have to be a little careful when we take that. The other thing is that these can last for extended periods of time, and someone can still be feeling that for, a while afterwards. So compared to the Lucia Light, and we see that with the Lucia Light experience, we're not taking anything. I mean, of course, light itself is a form of information, but just as I am here on the beautiful beach in the sun right now, I am taking light in, but it's not significantly affecting my neurochemistry to the point that it's creating this altered experience. So the Lucia Light is psychedelic in the visual aspect. When you have your eyes closed, you're in the experience and you're just feeling this bliss. You can see colors, patterns. Some people have all kinds of experiences visually with the light. At the very minimum, most people see colors and patterns and things like that, and kind of like lightscapes. But as you go deeper into it, as you relax more, you can really go far into it. So it can be a psychedelic experience in that sense of a journey of a wide opening, but it's really up to you and your nervous system, because it's all about letting go. And if your nervous system is in a state where it's really wound up, or it's been really dealing with a lot of stress or things like that, often a Lucia Light experience is just about letting go. It's about relaxing, coming back to home, to your center point, creating more flexibility in the nervous system, moving from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic and back, which allows us to deal with greater grace with life and the challenges that come up. So the Lucia Light does not take you out of your kind of mental state. That's normal until you really relax into it. And even then, it's just a very deep relaxation. So it's not going to alter you in that sense. What it's going to do is keep you grounded, and so that you can start opening your third eye, opening this expansive state of consciousness, getting different parts of your brain to interact, meditating, getting into this really peaceful zone. And all of this happens through, gentle entrainment from the flickering light, and combined with the sound and visual aspect of the Lucia, just opens this really beautiful space. Now, it's awesome because if at any point you're like, whoa, this is too much, oh my gosh, or you're just like, hey, I just want to do this for a half hour, these possibilities are there. With a psychedelic experience with entheogens, you don't have the option to just say, like, actually, that's a lot. I need to stop this for a second and, come back home. And with the Lucia Light, you do. You always have that opportunity. And, it doesn't stick with you in the sense that you're not in a 12-hour journey. You're just in an experience for as long as the duration of the light. I mean, it takes about 10 minutes, I would say, for you to kind of ground back into your body. Some people shorter, some people longer. But it's not something that will leave you in this totally altered state for an extended period of time afterwards. So for people who are interested in, have seen all the research on the benefits of psychedelics and microdosing and, really accessing these expanded states of consciousness, the Lucia Light is a great first place to go. It's a great stepping stone. And, and then for people who have had psychedelic experiences that maybe were challenging, or there's part of it that they want to integrate further, the Lucia Light's a great tool again, because it can come in, you can recall the feeling of the session. We've had people kind of go right back into ayahuasca experiences, so to say, that have already had them. that, feel like they can work with this portal energy here. So it also works for advanced psychonauts who have had a lot of psychedelic experiences, who really don't need a lot to get into that space to receive the downloads and understandings. So is the Lucia Light psychedelic? Yes, I would say it is. And it's not psychedelic in the way of ingesting anything, but it is psychedelic in the sense that it's opening you to this expanded state of consciousness. And, the final difference here that I'll mention at the moment is that, when you're taking a substance, it's like really just propelling you on that journey, right? So it's really not giving you much of an option. If you smoke DMT, you are going to go somewhere. You can resist, you can find stress and intensity that way, and ultimately the invitation is to let go. So with the Lucia Light, it's more about you letting go is going to guide the journey. And, it's amazing. Like, even if we've practiced letting go so many times in our life in so many different ways, it can be a lot harder than you think. There could be something in you that comes out and is afraid. I often say that in the first session, some of your big fears are going to come right to the surface. What if I'm not safe? What if I, what could happen during this? It comes right up because there's a vulnerability to fully letting go in this way. And on the other side of that vulnerability is this really powerful expansiveness, this really deep relaxation. And the Lucia Light's not going to force you there. There's people who come in for a light session and, spend the majority of the time thinking and, are facing, dealing with the resistances to letting go. And that's also okay. This is why we recommend a series of sessions, because each session is different. You're in a different place. You get to know the tool more. For some people, the first time is like a place where they can really let go because they haven't consciously blocked it at all. For other people, the first time is way more intense, or they just need relaxation, so they just relax first. But as you get to work with this amazing tool more and more, you will see that there's so many ways to work with it. And it's just a great opportunity to have a dialogue with your subconscious. These things that are happening below the surface, these fears or tensions that you're holding on to that you didn't even know were there. Like, they will start, could arise, or like a question or things like that. And then you can let go deeper and deeper with them. And after experience, the universal feeling is one of deep relaxation. It really does, with that consistent entrainment of the flickering light, your system becomes relaxed. Similar as if you were clapping your hands for a long period of time, but obviously much deeper because we're working with the brain as well as the body. So there's a few words about psychedelics. If you have any questions about how the Lucia Light relates to psychedelic experiences, or if you'd like to share any of your experiences with Lucia, I'd be happy to hear it. And in tomorrow's video, I'll talk about combining Lucia Light with psychedelics, why and why not, and dive into that. Thanks for listening. Love you.